Well, the Yemeni President Mansour Hadi has given his address to the UN General Assembly in New York. He says the Yemeni people are doing all they can to resist Houthi rebels.
The Yemeni people have opposed attempts from the Houthis in Abyan, Baidan and Taiz, as well as in Hudaydah and other cities in Yemen. The people have upheld the law. I would like to welcome the national resistance as well as the armed forces, who are indeed our partners in the drive against the Houthis.
Let's go to Khaled Al-Abbadi now. He's a spokesman for the South Yemen Community in the US. He's joining us live from New York. Very good to have you with us on Al Jazeera. I believe you're part of a group that was demonstrating outside the UN today in support of President Hadi. What do you hope, Mr. Al-Abbadi, that the United Nations, that the international community can do for Yemen now?
Well, thank you very much, Elizabeth, for having me on your show and giving us a chance to talk about the aspirations of the South Yemeni people. And yes, what we would like is the international community that has already supported us in our current resistance against the Houthi coup to continue that support in our aspirations for self-determination, to continue the process that was started with the national dialogue that President Hadi discussed today, and to continue that process where hopefully the southern people get a chance to a referendum and get to choose whether they want to continue with the state of Yemen or whether they want to continue and start and go back to their previous former state.
You actually, I believe, want a separate southern Yemen. Do you think that President Hadi, that if there was a national dialogue that would be allowed if or when the current government regains control of the country?
We do believe that President Hadi is genuine in his desire for a political process and for dialogue, and he has shown that in the past, and he continues to show that. He has also shown a great deal, and the international community has also shown a great deal of support for the people of Aden and for the people of South Yemen. Resistance fighters have liberated many areas in South Yemen, and so what we are seeing are very positive signs, and we do believe that after this conflict, the political process will require that the resistance fighters on the ground and a lot of the leaders on the ground work with the current state, with President Hadi for stability, for security, and in return we hope that that'll give us the opportunity just for a referendum. It doesn't have to be separation, but just the ability for the southern people to decide even after a transition period.
I know that the people of the South have been involved in the resistance against the Houthis. You were demonstrating also against the Houthis outside the UN today. Let's talk about the great loss of lives in Yemen this year. It hasn't just been at Houthis' hands, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on the Saudi-led coalition airstrikes? I mean, that's been part of the international community's response to the crisis in Yemen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, this has become a very violent conflict, and with any international intervention, it is expected that there will be the unfortunate cost of civilian lives. However, we want to be clear that I understand that the Yemeni government, the southern resistance, and the southern people definitely do not condone the targeting of civilians, and we also believe that the Arab coalition is not targeting civilians wantonly, not like the Houthi militias and Ali Abdullah Saleh's units, who have been targeting civilians. We do believe that there needs to be a systematic process to kind of open up an inquiry and investigate all of these incidences of civilian losses because of the airstrikes. However, that's the problem, that a system needs to be under the framework of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2216, a political process. All of these are mechanisms that the Houthis have just flaunted. So we hope that at the end of a conflict will open these processes again and allow us to investigate and allow us to hold parties accountable if these situations if it deems so.
Khaled Al-Abbadi, spokesman for the South Yemen Community in the US, joining us live from New York. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.